Hi everyone, welcome back to AFTV and welcome to full-time. Arsenal have lost 2-0 at home to Liverpool. We've had another player sent off in Thomas Partey, who's just made it back, landed this morning from his flight in from the African Cup of Nations. We've got a lot to talk about. I've kind of been making notes here of the things we need to get through because we're going to be live for an hour, a lot of fan cams will be coming out and we're going to be feeling very ranty, very frustrated. A lot we're going to want to get through, so I want to try and apply a little bit of structure to it, and of course in between all our talking points are your videos, so the number's on the screen right here, you can see it. Send in your videos, give us your thoughts. I don't know where to start. I mean, what is this on us? Are Liverpool just a great side? I don't think we can just kind of, how do I put it? I don't think we just look at ourselves. You know, Diogo Jota's a quality player. Liverpool are a quality side. There's a reason they've won what they've won. There's a reason, even though they're far off Man City, they're at the right end of the table. So, of course, that's going to come into context. And, of course, not having Partey from the start, not having Xhaka, who, for everything I've said, does start when Arsenal are playing their best under Arteta. But, these are little things. I think that might excuse losing, but I don't think it excuses the performance we got. The performance was dire. First 15 minutes, we were feeling really encouraged on the watch along. We were feeling really encouraged by some of the pressing, some of the energy, the spaces we were picking up. I thought Smith Rowe and Martinelli were having a lot of joy down the left, Tierney too. I thought there were a lot of moments where we looked like we were running at them, but the minute the ideas started to run out and they got their one moment, I mean, actually, to be fair, they had a goal disallowed for offside. But then they have the moment where Jota scores. We're going to break that down and find out where that went wrong. But I'm looking at the rest of the team and it's almost like if we don't score in that first 20, 30 minutes, then we almost don't believe we can anymore. It's almost like we think, well, that's all we got. And it's not the first time I've said this. It was after Everton when we lost 2-1 at Everton, on that fan cam where I said sometimes the football under Arteta could be worse under Emery. And what I mean by that is basically what we saw tonight. This inability to look like we're really, lathering on the pressure. We're really kind of suffocating Liverpool and making them work for this. Last week, we did really, really well because Liverpool made us work for the draw. We didn't make Liverpool work for anything. They didn't have to hold on for anything. It's not like they were 3-0 up with half an hour to go. We were in that till 10 minutes left. So a lot to break down, a lot to talk about. I'm going to take your comments as well. Let's see what people are saying. We've got a super chat from Touch of Awesome. Says, used to watch Arsenal for the beautiful passing and walking into the goal. Now I watch Arsenal for the bans. Doesn't feel banterous, but I get what you're saying. Alazar saying, let's blame Xhaka for this, right? No, but I'd love to have had him available. That's a serious problem. Jamie asking, you think Vlahovic wants to join your banter club? Listen, I've seen better players join worse clubs. Throw the bag at him if he's that good. Yusuf says, I don't know who to blame anymore. I don't think it's a blame game. It's not, this is your fault or this is your fault, but I do think we've got to be talking pretty strictly today about why we performed the way we did with what we had, but then why we didn't have what we maybe needed to win this game. What else are people saying? Awaken says Arteta's too arrogant. Ramsdale was bad for the 2 goals, says Danny. What else have we got? We've got another super chat coming in. Steve with the super chat says, James, as a Liverpool fan, you said it best. It was a professional win by Liverpool. Our players have been in big games recently and have won trophies. Arsenal just not there yet. Cheers from Canada. Yeah, you know what? While we've still got super chats and comments coming in and people joining the show, we've got your videos coming. We've got a lot to talk about from an Arsenal perspective. No, I don't like doing it. Let me give some credit to Liverpool because I felt without Salah and Mane today, they still showed their quality. Trent Alexander-Arnold going forward, Diogo Jota, superb. They showed their quality in terms of managing the game. They didn't press us and suffocate us and go and really take the game to us because they knew they didn't really need to. After they weathered the first 15 minutes, where I don't think they looked great, they kind of thought that's all Arsenal really have. A lot of teams are sussing that out within 15, 20 minutes of a game. And they're just keeping it very tight, very compact when we have the ball, making it, not even making it difficult, just knowing that we're not going to do too much and then picking their moments. And boy, did they take their moments. Diogo Jota was fantastic. I'll give him credit there. We've got some clips coming in apparently, so we're going to hear those in a second. I was going to have a little moan about something from the Liverpool perspective, but I won't. I don't think this is the show for it. Or maybe at the end, we'll see. And we've got some clips, guys. Let's hear what you guys have to say. I think I need you guys to help me make sense of this before I start giving more of my opinion. We are having guests join the show as well. I think Charlene might be joining, might be Laurie as well, and whoever else is coming back from the game. So let's see. Anyway, let's hear what you guys have to say.
It's Arteta problem is not the player, because he saw we are poor at the midfielder when he has Panther at the bench, and then he saw the Smith Rowe today was not on the game since the first half, but he kept him until 74 minutes instead of doing an earlier substitute at the second half. He was supposed to do earlier substitute at the second half, but he kept watching the way we played poor. Nothing were playing at the middle. Nothing was created for the striker, and then he keep it until 74 minutes. When he bring Partey, Liverpool got another goal, and then a red card. The game finished. Arteta is the problem here. It's not player. He don't know how to change the game. He don't know how to bring substitutes.
Hi AFTV, James here from One Way Football in Gran Canaria, and just finished watching the game. We're a bit behind time with the lag of internet and stuff, the streaming. Look, listen. When it comes to games like this, it's hard to tell. It's hard to really tell on how to explain my feelings about it, because we put a good game in. We did put a good game against Liverpool. Just our heads probably weren't in it as much, but Tomiyasu didn't have a great game. Neither did Lokonga. Smith Rowe wasn't really seen today much, to be fair. And fair play to Liverpool. They're into the final. They seen little cracks in our defence, and they took their chances, and they put it. I mean, it was the first goal was too easy, man. The centre of the goal, and he tapped it in. Ramsdale could have got to that, and 3 defenders tried to block it, but just couldn't. You know, we fight, we live on. We've got to just concentrate on top 4. We haven't got a final to go to now. We've got nothing to lose, so top 4 has to be in the books now. But yeah, fair play, well done Liverpool, and Arsenal, keep your heads up and let's fight for that top.
Hi guys, this is becoming too much. We keep on losing to these big teams. So one question: until when? Until when? Really, until when? So I know what will be said later. Now top 4 is a must, and this and that. So till when? Looking at this performance, okay, this has taken us nowhere. Definitely nowhere. Okay, we'll keep on losing. We will keep on dropping points to teams. Okay, less than us, below us in the rank. But this project is becoming so boring. Okay, what performance is this today? I can't understand. Okay, we were playing at Anfield. This is not the Emirates. No way, this is the Emirates. Okay, I swear that in Anfield, our performance was much better. This is becoming unbearable, actually. And Thomas Partey, come on. You come, play for 20 minutes or so, and you get yourself sent off. This is not happening. This is not real. This is unrealistic. I'm so fed up with this project. I'm so fed up with such performances.
Oh shit. Yo, what's up AFTV? Just finished watching the live stream with you guys, and all I gotta say is this. Look, Liverpool, like Man City, are probably like 2 of the best teams in the world, probably alongside Bayern Munich. So in all honesty, like, while I was kind of confident because of our first like performance, like, I'm not gonna overreact and say, hey, like, you know, we should have won or something. It just honestly, it just looks like look, Saka got shut down by Robertson. Martinelli, I mean, the first 15 minutes he tried to go against TAA, and you know, he did decent, but TAA later on, with the help of, I think, what was Fabinho or Milner or Henderson or whoever was in the midfield, just coming to double team him. Disgusting. He was left alone. Laka, other than that, beautiful free kick, honestly. Beautiful free kick. Great save. He did nothing. So it's like, I don't know. I'm just, you know, we go again. Burnley. Let's just hope for a better result then. Either way, take care. And yeah, good luck to you guys as well. Peace, peace.
Good luck is right. Burnley without two central midfielders. Then I've got Harvey. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, James.
You're at the game.
I say that, and I'm not.
I know you got a lot to say. Before we go into it,
yeah,
just hear this, guys. Tweet from James Bench says, completely unprompted, as he was asked about about playing Chelsea in the final, Jurgen Klopp said, Martin, by the way, ... Everyone should remember that name. Outstanding player. And I think we're going to go into a lot of negatives today. So actually, let's just take a second to give praise to the players that we believe deserve them for giving it, because obviously it's a team sport and we're judging Arsenal here, but we are going to talk about individuals. We are going to look at individuals for what they did wrong today. I think it's only right we look at the individuals that did right. The two I'm going to point out are Martinelli, as Jurgen Klopp did, a stunning player. I thought he was unbelievable.
Listen, I don't know how much you could see off on the TV. There were so many times he was on that wing with his arms up, waiting for the ball. People the players could see he was there, but they just couldn't work out how to get it to him. He was the only outlet, realistically. I got to agree with you there. Who's your other one that you want to pick out?
Mine was Martin Odegaard.
You know what? I'm with you.
I thought Odegaard showed terrific close control in tight areas, switching the play, looked like he was trying to make things happen. The only one who looked like he wasn't shook by the occasion was, I think, Ramsdale, Gabriel, White, Tierney. I think they all looked a little... Tomiyasu, certainly. Smith Rowe,
Odegaard was given a difficult task. That's not how he plays, and he was given a difficult task. I'm not going to say he was unbelievable, because he wasn't, but given what he was asked to do, he still kind of managed to do that role as best as he could, and the role that he would normally do, which is obviously more creative. I'll also add, he was the last player to leave the pitch tonight. Odegaard was. Everybody had gone down the tunnel. Even the Liverpool players were heading down. He was the last player to head down. So
D Wood agrees with us. Says Odegaard was class today. Let us know, guys. I mean, I know we're going to get into a lot of moaning about what went wrong today.
I want to pick out Smith Rowe as well. He wasn't. I mean, I know I've heard quite a few opinions. I think you might disagree, but I don't think he was. I don't think he was that bad, to be honest.
When you're in the ground, you see it differently. You might see the spaces he was in, waiting for the ball that he didn't. You might. We're guided on what we see by the telly. But what was it about Smith Rowe you enjoyed today?
I just felt like he was trying to find Martinelli. He was trying to find those balls. He was pressing. That's not necessarily his role.
Worked harder, I won't deny that.
He was very hardworking, and it was refreshing, I guess, in comparison to what we were seeing. I mean, we go into the stadium, fans were up for it. First 10, 15 minutes, absolutely buzzing. But it's...
How was the atmosphere at the Emirates?
Well, it was good when it was good, and it was bad when it was bad. But I think, obviously, they had a disallowed goal quite early on. So that obviously got us kind of going a little bit. We had some... I don't know. I'm interested to see what the XG is. I know that's kind of a stat which people just, it matters or it doesn't.
I'd be amazed if our XG went above 0.6, 0.5.
But there was a couple of clear-cut chances that I really think we could...
I genuinely can't think of any. But we're going to break this all down, guys. Super chat from Evan Ryan says, Emery got sacked for less. What a mistake. I don't know necessarily if it was a mistake.
I don't know if that's a bit reactive.
Let us know on the Smith Rowe thing. I think Pine Martin says, no hate on Smith Rowe. All I remember is his really short pass that broke up our counter. Yeah, but for me, there were moments in Smith Rowe's game where kind of the killer pass was needed, and I felt he really lacked it. Do you know what has surprised me about Arteta? That when he's been in this situation where he's got to play one of Smith Rowe or Odegaard as the deeper player alongside Lokonga or Partey, whoever it is, what's always surprising that he's looked to put Odegaard there. Now I understand why, because he might create from deep or whatever, but Smith Rowe's more of a, he can more accurately replicate what an Aaron Ramsey does, as like a box to box, and actually Odegaard's finesse and his kind of way to pass I felt was lacking in the final third. I don't know, maybe. Betts is saying Martinelli will leave soon. I absolutely hope not. Connor says, you lot are deluded. What game did you watch? I'm not sure. I mean,
I'd love to see what people want to say about Tomiyasu and Tierney.
Yeah.
I think Tierney was probably the better out of the two. I think early on, Tomiyasu, I was like, oh, here we go, we've missed him kind of thing. But kept missing the ball, kept slipping around, it was painful to watch at times, if I'm being honest.
I know a lot of people do it for banter, but people who say kind of, what game did you watch, you're deluded, that's fine, just tell us which bit you disagree with, because the whole point of this show is that we chat, and if we disagree, that's cool, but then let's discuss it. Yeah, we've got some more clips as we just go into this super chat quickly. From Mike, says, Arsenal fan, White hasn't proved he's better than Luiz. Sure, but I'm in the minority who thought David Luiz was good for us, and I know a lot of people, I know the red card and penalty situation, but for me, I felt he did a lot of good in an Arsenal shirt. Most don't agree with that. I think White's done well at Arsenal, just struggled in this game. Wow, loads of super chats pouring in. We're about to go to the clips. Let's just go through these. Mark says, Liverpool excellent today. Defensively, they're very professional. They definitely look the experience side. 2, you finished a live video with we need transfers. We got to the top 4 fight with existing players. Have faith. We're going to address all of that. Trust me, we're going to be chatting transfers. Lou says, what is Odegaard's role? Do we have a creator? I think he's meant to be, but he's playing so deep today. All right, guys, the number appears on the screen. Send in your videos. We've got some in now. Let's see what people are saying.
Arsenal. Hey, African soldier, yeah, I'm from Texas. Yes, man, it's kind of disheartening that we lost the game. Going into the game, people were predicting, I knew we were going to lose. I predicted 4-0, but Liverpool got 2-0. We play with a lack of intensity. We had the ball for majority of the game, but Liverpool was using the technique that they used on us back in the past. Ball over the top, and it was always finding the target, man. Jota 2 chances, clinical on the day. All I can say is that we should rally around the team, and then we need some reinforcement this January. I hear about Melo. I don't know what's going on there. Vlahovic. Why don't you just focus our attention on bringing in Isak or someone like Oli Watkins? We move. Thank you.
What's up, AFTV crew? This is Andrew coming from New York. Arsenal 0, Liverpool 2. I'm not going to lie to you. It is my birthday today. I'm turning 27, and I would have loved to have seen us go to Wembley after today's performance, but it wasn't good enough. A lot of fingers can be pointed, but I think at the end of the day, we weren't clinical, and Liverpool were the better team and took their chances. That can go down to a lot of things. I think the squad looked leggy. We were rusty. Tomiyasu, Smith Rowe, a lot of players didn't look like they were playing at their full potential. That could be due to COVID, injuries, etc. But at the end of the day, we can't dwell on this. We have to move forward because top 4 still in our grasp. And we know what our squad is capable of. Add the necessary pieces in this transfer window, and we can get the job done. I truly believe that. So AFTV crew, keep the hope, and we just got to hang our heads high and find the positives where we can.
Hi, my name is Mansour. I'm from Russia. I just got finished watching the game. To be honest, very easy game for Liverpool. I didn't expect that. I thought we'd give it a little bit more than what we did. But from the other side, you look at it, you look at the squad, it's extremely narrow. We definitely need at least one signing. I'm tempted to say 2 or 3 signings in this January alone. Never mind in the summer. So we have a very short squad. We're going to have an even shorter squad if our players continue to get red cards, Thomas I can sort of forgive and understand because, you know, he's just come back. His country's been kicked out of the AFCON. Probably wasn't in the mood to play. Arteta is desperate. We're desperate to allow anybody, you know, in that middle field, anybody of experience. So I can sort of understand. But yeah, just not good enough, and we do need to increase the squad. We do need to continue working in the transfer window. Right now, the most important thing at this club is the transfer windows. We need to get players in. We need to get players of quality in. We have no game changers whatsoever. We don't have a single player like Jota in our squad. So think about how scary that is. We don't have a single player of that level, and they didn't even have Salah and Mane. Thank God for that. So there's things to be worked on, and let's hope we do that.
What's up, guys? Javi from the US here. You know, I lost my wallet today. Gonna have to go to the DMV, get a new license or other new credit cards and all that crap. And yet this is still the most disappointing thing that's happened to me today. I mean, it's unforgivable, especially when you consider that away performance at Anfield with 10 men. And you know what? It honestly comes down to the fact that we're thin in midfield, but that's up to Arteta and Edu. And offloading these players, knowing that we had AFCON, I mean, it's unforgivable. And you know what? Maybe, in the grand scheme of things, if they're really about it, if you tell me, hey, the reason we're offloading these players is so that we can take them off the wage bill, clear up the space, so that we can sign that, you know, that marquee signing, that Vlahovic, that Bruno Guimaraes, you know, all right, then maybe I can forgive it because, you know, we're not losing the forest for the trees. But if we got knocked out of the FA Cup and in the EFL Cup because of the fact that we lack the numbers in midfield and we don't bring anybody in, then their lack of experience is really going to show. So honestly, this season, rest on the next 10 days and what we do in the January transfer window.
Harvey, in all seriousness, I hope you find your wallet.
Yeah, American Harvey.
sorry about that. Yes, other Harvey.
Other Harvey.
And yeah, but this is a real downer. Right, let's try and, how long have we been live? We've been live maybe 20 minutes. Am I right? Something like that. Let's try and bring a little bit of order to this. Start breaking things down and going through them. We've tried to go through some of the positives, get out our kind of initial ranty feelings. I'm still going through Twitter, just hearing what people are saying. I mean, the Jurgen Klopp comments. You saw something about Arteta saying that
Tomiyasu hadn't had a training session,
right,
but because Chambers and Cedric were both unavailable, he was put in. I guess you got to go with your strongest team. So fair enough.
Yeah, he might be protecting the player. I know he had a bad day.
Yeah.
Boss of the Super Chat says Arteta got the tactics wrong today. Arsenal front four pressed too high up the pitch, leaving space in the middle. You can't do that without proper defensive midfielders. Unlike Liverpool, they are more compact. Agreed. Let's break this down. Starting with the first goal. Have you seen replays of it, Harvey? I know you were at the game.
I saw a couple replays when I was in there, but I don't want to pull out Ramsdale. But I feel like had he been in a slightly better position, maybe he would have got a finger to it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to put any blame, but is it the defence's responsibility to make sure that a goal like that doesn't happen, or is it on the goalkeeper to get a hand to it? I don't know. I'm not pointing any fingers.
I see a load of errors in this goal, which is why I think they kind of all get away with it, because there's kind of not one person who's to blame. But I start with, I'm going to have a little look at the comments coming through, guys. Just send in your comments. Who was not to? I don't actually think to blame.
There's no blame.
But where do you think it goes wrong?
There were
no
dreadful mistakes from anyone really in this game. There was sloppy errors throughout.
Partey red.
Okay, I wouldn't even put that as a mistake. I think that's just a lapse of concentration. You get 2 fouls, you get booked for each of them, and you're off. Come on. I said to you before, he was made captain. I'm pretty sure when Lacazette came off, it's things like that where they just don't happen. You just don't let that kind of thing happen.
So I think
how many games is he out for then?
Partey.
Yeah, is it 1 or is it 3?
1. So 1 game. I missed Burnley, back for Wolves. So all right, guys, this is what I think with the first goal. Firmino has gone into midfield as he does. He's a false 9. Gabriel's gone with him, and he's just flicked it beyond. Now I'm not saying Gabriel should have done better, but it's just a little too easy. You've been pulled all the way out of position to not really do anything. Now I know Gabriel maybe is going a little, let's say, lighter, because obviously he got booked at Anfield last week for flying in. Got sent off against City for a second yellow, gone flying. Did that against Southampton a year ago. Maybe it's a part of his game he's a little bit more hesitant on at the moment. But he doesn't go in, doesn't commit. Next thing, Liverpool are playing through us, and it goes all the way to Jota. Now, Diogo Jota is a very good player. He's difficult to beat. You know, he had the better Tomiyasu and Ben White today. But Tomiyasu has been superb in his one-on-one duels
100%.
against Raheem Sterling,
Agreed.
against Heung-min Son.
Definitely.
Whoever he's come up against, he's been fantastic. So what frustrates me is just show him on the outside. And if not, bring him down. Tomiyasu isn't a player that commits a lot of fouls. He does a lot of his winning battles in the air, sort of one-on-one foot races. He's not one to really go and engage. Just bring him down. If you get the yellow, get the yellow. He's not the kind of player who picks up a lot of those fouls. So he doesn't show him down the outside, nor does he stop him from going inside, either with a tackle or a foul. But at this point, they're running through. Tomiyasu's frantically trying to get back. White comes across, he's thrown himself at it, not blocked it. Tierney's tried to come across, not blocked it. And Ramsdale, for me, I don't think he can really see it. I think he thinks it's going wide, so he's trying to get across. But Jota's he's cut it back the other way. And I think it's really poor that no one got a block on it. And then that Ramsdale, for me, is just too far forward.
Just rolled in.
It just rolled in. I think Ramsdale's just that bit high. I don't know. I'm not a goalkeeping coach, and hindsight's a wonderful thing. It just looks to me like his starting position's far too high. Did you get that impression, or?
I mean, I can't say that I saw exactly kind of his position and kind of broken it down like you did, but when I saw it, I just thought that was not shot. Like, was not taken with too much power.
Yeah.
Surely a goalkeeper like Ramsdale, who I think has been exceptional this season, would just about get there, but he just about didn't, which is a shame. I mean, I'm just looking at some Opta facts here as well. I mean,
yeah.
There's all sorts of kind of things, mostly focused on how good Liverpool are, but it's like we have failed to score in 5 consecutive matches against Liverpool in all competitions.
Shocking. And add to that, I think we scored 1 goal in 2022. So our results so far, 2-1 defeat to City, 1-0 defeat to Forest, 0-0 at Anfield, 2-0 defeat at home to Liverpool.
I don't even want to find the stat about how many red cards we've now had. Is there a discipline problem at Arsenal? This is the question that's going to be thrown around.
Trust me, we are going to go into that.
We are going to be the question.
Super chat from Julius says, Lokonga should be the under-23, shocking recruitment. I disagree, Julius.
I do disagree as
wholeheartedly. Take most up-and-coming young talents of that age and put them in central midfield alone, essentially. See how they do. Guys, we've got some clips. Let's see what you say.
Hey guys, my name's Nick. I'm from Florida in the U.S. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty disappointing to say the least. I'm outside, by the way, so I don't know if hopefully there's not too much background noise, but yeah, it was pretty disappointing. But I don't know. I mean, maybe this is me trying to be like overly positive, which, I mean, I guess there's no such thing as being too positive, but I don't know. I'm not. I think the majority of the disappointment comes from the fact that we were so close to a final and getting another trophy. But I don't know. I mean, I think when you look at it more as a one-off game, and you understand that like we had a lot of people that coming back from COVID that haven't really been training, and I don't know. I just think that, and then you have all these stories and stuff just kind of like surrounding Arsenal and the transfer window. I mean, I know these aren't excuses, but I think it's just very hectic. And I don't think our team thrives with a lot of hecticness going on, which, I mean, I guess not a lot of teams would, but I think this is one of those things where now that we only have the Premier League to focus on, and, hopefully once all these players do come back from COVID and AFCON and everyone's back together training all the time, then I think we'll start to see that, what we were seeing in that run of games when we played like West Ham and Southampton and even City the second time. And so I don't know. It's one of those things for me where it's disappointing, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I just got to keep moving. That's how I see it.
It's time we buy players because it's not looking good. We have Burnley on Sunday. I don't even know how it's going to go. Lokonga did well, but still, his passes are not really accurate. Partey came in, red card. Xhaka, red card. What are we going to do? Gunners for life. Arteta, Edu, put things together. We need something. All right, bye.
Hello, my name's Ryan from South London, and Disappointed, not really vexed, because there's not really much Arteta could have done with the team selection tonight. His hands were tied behind his back. Tomiyasu, I know he's just come back from COVID or an injury, but we were tired. No Cedric, no Chambers that he could have even put the Partey. I'm glad he was on the bench, even though I'm gutted he's been sent off. Another midfield selection problem ahead of this weekend's game against Burnley. But I'm proud of Arsenal tonight, man. We put up a fight. We showed team spirit. At least we didn't get battered tonight. I know 2-0 is a defeat, but we can take something from this game going forward. As much as I'm Arteta out, I can see progression in this team. We have one of the youngest, if not the youngest team in the Premier League, other than Partey, Aubameyang, Lacazette and Xhaka, all under the age of 25. Part of my mind says trust Arteta, but part of me just says if he doesn't get top 4, he needs to get sacked. I'm sorry, man. I love you, Arsenal.
Big up AFTV and all Arsenal fans. This is Karim from Russia. Such a frustrating result. Shocking performance, especially defensively. I wished Arteta would have gone with 3 centre backs against Liverpool, because it never really worked for us with 4 defenders. And whenever Saka or Martinelli got the ball, you could see 3 Liverpool players marking them. If you can't defend like that, you have to park the bus against Liverpool. And we had our chances to score, but unfortunately we never took them. And Partey making it all even worse for us at the end. Now he misses the game against Burnley, which we must win because we haven't won any games this year yet. And still there are no signings. And all the criticism we're getting, I don't understand it. We're not responsible for the AFCON tournament being held in January, during the only month for the winter transfer window, and all the leagues are playing their games. I mean, it's so stupid by FIFA. If they give all these international breaks for the Europa Nations League, but for the most major football tournament in Africa, there's no international break really. And all the leagues are playing and the transfer window going on. So when should we do our business if not now? Yeah, all this criticism also makes me mad. I don't understand people sometimes, especially Tottenham fans, you know. So big up you Gunners, and let's go against Burnley.
Lots of business to do in January. It feels that's the only way to not save our season. I mean, I'm seeing some things, people saying, they're out of every competition. It's still February. It's only February. It's not even February yet. People saying another year without a trophy for Arsenal. Look, Arsenal won 4 FA Cups in the last 7 years. Winning trophies hasn't been what Arsenal fans have been craving. It's all about winning trophies in football. That's why I love this. That's why I love this competition, like I love any competition. But Arsenal, what they haven't shown in probably about 10, 15 years is progress, and significant steps in the right direction. So that's what Arsenal Football Club in terms of the future need from this season. So the season's not over, absolutely it's not. Getting into the top 4, playing better football, recruiting well between now and the end of January, these are still all massive steps we can take. Tonight doesn't define the season, just like Norwich didn't. But it's a big setback because it's another game where we played really boring, tepid football. We couldn't cause problems. Do you know what it was? It's not even like we got in and around the penalty area and then we were lacking some magic. We didn't even get there.
Just passed it back. There's a lot of backward passing as well, which was kind of disappointing to see. I know it's like play it safe, keep the ball, make a good chance, but
Chris is asking here about a player. Says, I think the Sambi just made everything get dragged back and slowed up the play. Also, Odegaard does not work in that position alongside Lokonga. What did you make of that?
I mean, I'll start with the second point first. We know Odegaard doesn't work in that position, but I think given what he had to do, he did all right. I mean, it's not his position, it's not natural, it's not something he can do, not at all. I think Lokonga was kind of just playing it safe. Again, he didn't necessarily know where to go. There wasn't really necessarily too much space. As I said before, Martinelli was out wide, but how do you get it there when there's 2-3 Liverpool players, in the way? Because there was.
Yeah, he was constantly kind of.
It was
double,
very, very
team,
wide.
Yeah.
At times you had Lacazette right in the middle, and you had Saka and Martinelli literally on the touch lines. I don't know. There was something. When Partey came on, I saw he could see Martinelli. He could make those balls that Lokonga couldn't.
Right.
But Lokonga was more doing the Partey role, and
Yeah.
Odegaard was more kind of trying to do his creative role, but also just sitting and supporting Lokonga at the same time.
When I was looking at Lokonga today, I thought he was trying to do all the right things. Yeah, gives the ball away sometimes. Yeah, inexperienced, but very young and playing in a very difficult system as a lone central midfielder. Rodri and Fabinho, and I might be wrong about Fabinho, but I'm pretty sure I'm not.
He should have been booked a few times.
Let me know in the comment section, guys. A lot of trolls in there, as always. You guys have your fun. But for those actually genuinely engaging in the discussion here, Rodri I'm certain about. Fabinho, let me know as well. I'm pretty sure they had really slow starts to life, in English football at Liverpool, at Man City. And Rodri's the best example because playing as the lone defensive midfielder is so difficult. You've got to be able to pick up the ball off your defenders when you're trying to play out the back but you're being pressed. You're trying to find space even though the opposition always knows that the play comes through you. But then when you find the space and receive the ball, you've got to have the skill, the awareness, the strength to open up your body and find a pass forward and hope that the players have moved for you. Now, I was looking at Lokonga, and it wasn't really him as a lone central midfielder. He did have Odegaard next to him, though he was the deeper player. It's so difficult when you do kind of get isolated there. I think Odegaard helped. I think Odegaard did okay. But generally, it's so difficult for him when the players in front aren't really doing anything, when the football's so stale and sterile. And some of the balls over the top, that one ball to Lacazette, if he takes that chance, we're saying brilliant from Lokonga. Because he shielded the guy. He's turned him, he's come inside, he's played a brilliant pass. That's superb midfield play. That's box-to-box midfield play.
Which is something that Partey would normally look at, though, those kind of long balls. On long balls, for me, obviously Ramsdale sometimes, we talk about his distribution and they're like, he can see the play. They were just hoofs tonight. I don't know what it was. He was under pressure from Liverpool, but they just kind of, it was just get it up and see what happens. So it was a little bit disappointing to see. But I do think, Lokonga, he's getting a bit of, You read the comments. I'm going to address a few here. Pratik says, Rodri had more pedigree and talent in his left toe than Partey and his whole body. Please don't compare. Well, firstly, I don't think that's necessarily fair. I don't think you were comparing.
Secondly, I wasn't comparing at all. KD with Super Chat says, if we play the same formation, we won't win against Burnley or Spurs for sure. We need to change formation, especially when we're short in this area. Spurs play 5 midfield. Wolves do the same. 3-5-2 the way to go. I don't think he's going to throw everything. We've been playing a back four all season, and it's kind of been working for us. What else have we got? This is England says, Stoke City play less long balls. And then SS says, Guendouzi over Lokonga. That was a point that was being made on the watch along, but I think they're both very talented players. Guendouzi maybe looks a little more ready. We're going to chat about the second goal in a bit, but I think we've got some more videos, we've got some more clips. Just double checking, yep, we do. And then Turkish is going to join us as well in a sec. We're going to
cheers for having me,
break
James.
down a little bit more. Thanks for joining, Harv.
Nice one.
Appreciate it,
Thanks,
as always. All right, guys, let's hear what you're saying.
AFTV's GM Marcella, and today I have to held my head down, because we lost. We lose badly. 15 minutes of glory doesn't suffice for 75 minutes of poor performances. 2-3 players can hold their head up high. Martinelli, Odegaard, Lokonga, they gave it their all. Ramsdale, I don't know, there will be a debate between him and Leno soon. But yeah, the rest of the players were poor. Saka was ineffective, overall it's a terribly disappointing performance. I think our players out alone have more heart today, players like Nelson, Guendouzi, Torreira, Saliba, Mari even. So yeah, I think I really miss that, and I think they would have done a better job on the pitch, I'll be honest. But yeah, I have a question for you guys. I don't know why is it taking for us so long to bring players in? But yeah, I know there's time and process for everything, but I think we need to reshuffle the whole squad again. Cheers.
Just finished watching this Arsenal game. Just what a disappointing game. At what point do we say it's enough? I just don't know what to say. We have not been... Realistically, this year, we've had only a few impressive games. I would say the win against Tottenham in the North London derby. Maybe the win against West Ham. But we've just been losing games. And at the end of the day, that's kind of the only thing that matters. Especially against these big clubs, like the Liverpools, the even like the cities, when we outplayed City, but we lost the game. And at one point you say we have to just do something about it. And I don't know what the change is, but I think today what we were missing was, I would say, like an Ozil player. So I don't know if Vlahovic is the answer, but we'll see. I don't know. I hope they do something.
Hey AFTV, this is Percy from Vancouver, Canada. Pretty gutted about today's result, especially the fact that we barely created any chances at the Emirates. I have kind of a loaded question for James. Do you believe that Arteta has the tactical capabilities and execution to take us to the next level? By that I mean that as a club who aspire to be frequently within the top four and probably challenge for the title in the coming years, do you think Arteta has the capability to take there, or his inexperience makes him have a glass ceiling? And do we need like an elite manager, someone like maybe a Mancini or a Ten Hag, to come in and take over and take us to that next level? Just like Frank Lampard assembled all the parts for Tuchel and he came and took them over the line. Do you believe that we need something like that? Or do you think Arteta has the tactical capability with the right additions to take us to the next level? I want to know your thoughts on this, James, and stay strong, Gunners. Hopefully we'll finish top for the season.
Hi, AFTV. Michael from Hong Kong. I like watching your channels. You guys are eloquent, entertaining, passionate, and no one questions your loyalty to a club. You have been so successful that this platform is not just a platform for us to voice our opinions, but I feel that you have a bigger role to play in support the team to be more successful. Players watch your channel, right? Imagine how a player would feel if they slash them off after a bad game, a bad pass, a missed opportunities, etc., right? So, Roby, you have a son, you won't do that to your son. Yes, they are professionals, but they are also human beings, right? We can find ways to support the team. I think AFTV can have a bigger role to play. How to find the positive in a team in terms of what they do, and then send out the positive energy around the world among the fans, so we can all send positive energy and belief to the team. We want the team to be successful. This is our common goal. So I think you can do that.
Michael, thanks for sending another video. I know you called for it Turkish, but listen, I think all a bit of tongue in cheek, everything. Obviously, last week and today, and I know what you mean. On this channel, I always say that we give fans the chance to give their opinion. I don't think, or at least I've never said we represent the fans. We represent the fans who are coming on the channel and saying what they want to say, and they get to have their say. And yeah, I think to a degree we do have a responsibility in terms of always looking at context and the bigger picture, and if there's good in something, saying it as much as when there's bad. Today there was a lot of bad, and I think for a decade, if not more, Arsenal have been heading in the wrong direction. That's where our frustration comes.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it, outside looking in, you know, in this current generation we live in, it's all, you know, be nice, be nice, be nice, be nice, and I get that. But for example, Iwobi is someone I was critical of in the past, and randomly, I forgot what game it was, but I see Iwobi's dad. And I knew he was his dad because Kelechi showed me who he is and whatnot. And I went up to him, innit, because people had insinuated that some of my words have cut deep and Iwobi's family are not happy with. So I went up to Iwobi's dad and I said to him, you know what, if you feel any of my criticism is harsh, and he stopped me mid-sentence. And he was like, I love it. He said, you love the club, it's your honest opinion. And I think for my son, that's the best thing that you can do, is give your honest opinion. That's just one example. I've got another example where Oba and Lacazette, how close they become with troops and other people across AFTV over time, and other fans in general. And Emil Smith-Rowe is another one who's close with a couple of people that have appeared on this channel. So there's examples to say that, you know, I get the aura of the channel outside looking in, but that's been the aura of the club over them years too. The aura of the club. Listen, we have a rotten owner, and I want to be positive. I want to believe and I want to hope, but this owner has let man down and let us down. You too, Michael, you, James. He's let us down for many, many years. So for me to be able to change, and this is a natural change. I mean, I didn't one day wake up and say, forget this. I'm not being positive or believing anymore. I'm done.
Sure.
It happened over time. So for me to turn back round, it needs to happen over time. If you see my interview after the Man City game, we lost that game But it's probably one of the first games that we lost that I come out and I said, you know what, I'm proud of the boys. But then ask me, was I proud of them after Nottingham Forest?
Yeah.
Definitely not. Was I proud after Liverpool first leg? Yes. Was I proud today? No. So at the end of the day, you know, it's one thing asking someone to be positive, but I need something to be positive and believe in. And 1 or 2 or 7 games is not going to change my opinion when I've seen us go 22 with Emery and still not achieve anything. When I've seen us have Arsene Wenger, a legendary manager at this club and in world football, and not take that extra step. So for me, to really start being positive and believing again, this ownership needs to be doing what they've done in the summer more consistently, at the bare minimum. And then maybe in a couple of years, you know, with performances, with seasons of progress and whatnot, I will change. But at the moment, it's still very inconsistent. Shah said, you know, we're consistently inconsistent. And that's a perfect way to sum us up. This year, Man City, great performance. Nottingham Forest, bad performance. Liverpool, 10 men, great performance. Liverpool, second leg, poor performance. One after the other. How can you build a belief when 1 minute you see something, the next minute you're getting battered back down?
Sure.
And again, I'm not blaming Mikel and Edu for this wholly. They've definitely got some parts to blame, but they are both inexperienced. It comes from above. It comes from above, and I'm scared that Tottenham and Conte, that decision, will see them finish above us this year. I'm scared of that, because at the end of the day, Conte is a manager that I see very high. I rate him just behind Pep and Klopp in this league for sure.
Yeah.
It's all good and well believing in a vision, believing in a process, but if other clubs do something just like that and they go from below you to above you, then you can't believe in that process, because it depends on the variables around. It depends whether Tottenham take that plunge or Chelsea take that plunge to sack Lampard and bring in Tuchel. If we base our process on the variables around us, we will never get nowhere, because we are a Big Six club, but we are one of 2 Big Six clubs that don't act like a Big Six club. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Man City, Chelsea, Man United spend every single season. Whether they win or not, they spend money. Man City just won the league last year. They spent 100 mil. Man United don't win shit. They spend every year. Chelsea, they win, they don't. They win, they don't. That's just been their model. And Liverpool, I'd say, are closer to us in terms of ownership than them. But they've got Klopp, and their ownership have made decent enough decisions. At the end of the day, I'm not just going to randomly believe because we beat, you know, a few teams over a few weeks.
Because we beat Leicester away 2-0 in Sunday.
And I like that. Yeah. Villa, I like that performance. Tottenham, the first one, I like that performance. Liverpool last week, credit. Man City, first game of the calendar year, credit. But at the end of the day, what does all of this mean if it doesn't end with something? If it doesn't end with now, without League Cup or FA Cup, if this season doesn't end with top 4, then surely no one can be happy with this season. Some people might be content.
Can I challenge you on
happy.
that? Can I challenge you on that? No, not challenge, but almost building it. You say if it doesn't end with anything, and I get what you're saying, but for me, we naturally think of the end of the season and what we've ended up with as the end. All right, so have we ended up with trophies? Have we ended up 4th, 5th, 6th or 7th? I couldn't even say that properly. You know, that's kind of what we consider the end. But for me, if there is a process, if there is a long-term vision, then for me, the whole where are we left at the end doesn't end with this season. It ends with, look, okay, this season we didn't quite get what we wanted, but in January we added Arthur and we added Vlahovic. And Arteta didn't finish in the top 6, but there's a core of really good young players, and now we've given them Ten Hag. Like, do you get what I mean? Like, and for me, that's not me saying, you know, okay, great season then. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that feels at least a continuation and building on what we've been doing. It doesn't, you know, this season isn't the be all and end all of this young Arsenal group. It's not like if it doesn't happen, it's never going to happen for this Arsenal group.
No, definitely not. Group, definitely not. Manager, that's another question.
Director
of football, that's another question.
Sure, because managers don't get as long. We got,
Look, yeah, let's just get into some clips.
Yeah, we do. Just before we do, very quickly, super chat from Katie. Katie says, we need to be proactive with formation based on teams is what I meant. Week after week, we get over on the midfield, 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 to get some support in the midfield. We might have to do that while we're so light. Yeah, I think there's maybe something in that. And then...
Last season, what do you think our targets were? Considering we finished 8th and we didn't win anything, yeah? Is it safe to say that our target was... is it safe to say our target was do what you can? Arteta.
For this season?
No, for last season. The season we finished 8th and didn't win anything, knocked out Villarreal in the semi-final.
Yeah.
Obviously, Arteta kept his job, Edu kept...
Yeah.
So was the target for that season, do what you can? It must have been, right? Because I don't see what...
Oh, I get what you're saying. Right, as in from above. All right. Yeah, they must have said that because ultimately finishing 8th
Let's say
didn't
free
bother
hit
them.
season.
Yeah. Clear out season.
So how do you then spend 150 million in the window and then your director of football comes out in the first month and again basically says there's no targets? When you say sign Vlahovic this January and it could be an indicator of progress regardless of top 4, if you sign Vlahovic now or Bruno Guimaraes now or both now, then the target needs to be top 4. We can't just spend 150 million and go in again, free hit season. Otherwise, no one's held accountable. You know, there is very little depth to the process then, because let's just see how it goes.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's enough ruthlessness yet. There's inexperience throughout, but there's not that one ruthless figure in the club that I look to and say, I trust that guy to get the job done when it needs to be done.
The one of the clips just before Michael, and thank you for sending that in, Michael, appreciate it, because obviously we were having that sort of friendly back and forth last week. And you made some great points. So sorry, I forgot your name. There was a video sent in just before Michael's we heard. And he asked me what I thought about whether Arteta could be a manager who's basically tactically good enough to one day win the Premier League. The answer is, the evidence is no, because he hasn't beaten enough big teams. He's been to Spurs twice, lost both. They haven't been great in that time. He hasn't won at Anfield. Fair play, won at Old Trafford, won at the Bridge. I'll give him that. Won the FA Cup, so he's shown he can win trophies. You know, I'll give him all that. And I think he's a very young manager. Will go on to do good things. I do believe that. But tonight was a bad night for that because it reminded me of Villarreal. And a year on, or less than a year on, with £150 million spent, we didn't look any better. Now, Liverpool are a much better side than Villarreal. And I think if this Arsenal side are playing that Villarreal side a year ago, I think we probably win. But that's not really the point. You know, we're Arsenal, we're going to judge ourselves against the big guns. And Liverpool, when they're missing their, Thiago, Naby Keita, Mane, Salah, all missing. That's 4 key players for what they do going forward in attack. Full Emirates crowd. Our players back, although 1 or 2 missing, and we were that poor. That's really worrying. So, to answer your question, I'm still worried about that. Let's go into your clips, guys, and then we've got to go into some of the nitty-gritty about the red cards and what we do going forward.
Hello, every Arsenal fans. Liam speaking from France. Well, what to think about this game? It was pretty disappointing. We played against a better team, against a better individuals also, as we saw with Jota, who scored 2 beautiful goals. We have to admit it. It was really painful to see our defense take goals like this. I was expecting that maybe we could be back with the formation we used to do months ago, with 5 defenders, 2 midfielders and 3 forwards, because we have our whole defense, but we have very few midfielders. And we saw how strong defensively we were last week, and when we were back at the 5 behind. And to me, it's pretty naive to play like we did tonight, because we know that against Liverpool we won't have the ball like we are used to it. So maybe try to do something with counter-attacks, because we saw last week and even tonight that we can surprise Van Dijk, Matip and Konate. We can surprise them with one action with Martinelli, Saka, Smith Rowe. We can do something, but with what we had tonight, we did not have enough combativity, enough winning mentality, and that's the main point that led us to the loss tonight. We didn't have the thing that we saw at the end of the match last week, so without it, it's complicated. And now the pressure is on Arteta. No cup, no Europe, so top 4 is the bare minimum to keep his jobs. If he don't have it, out.
I believe our problem starts up front. Without a proper striker, one who can hold the ball exceptionally. I mean, Lacazette does all right, but someone who does it exceptionally. Someone who plays further up the pitch, who can physically challenge and impose himself on opposing center backs. Without that, it just puts a lot of pressure on the midfield and then ultimately the defense as well. There's just not enough there's too much pressure. There's not enough options or outlets to link up play, and for us to really make a challenge for top four this season, which is a huge window right now. Honestly, we have to take advantage of this. I think we really need a striker now rather than later.
It wasn't the worst game. It wasn't the best game, but the opponent was too strong for Arsenal in the state that they are in right now. And come on, it's Omicron, and it's miracle that they have 11 players to play the game. So I think Arsenal should concentrate on Premier League and just forget about this. And let's be honest, if Arsenal won League Cup, nobody would care, right? So nothing's really changed.
Whoa, what a game. I'm Devlin from North London. There's mixed opinions. People are saying, we should be, alright, we didn't get battered. But still, look at the performance of what we've done. 10 minutes, first 10 minutes, Martinelli, golden. Understand, Tommy, you've been out for a while. Smith Rowe, you ain't been about, I get that. But still, at the Emirates, and this is how we perform. I don't understand how we could not make more possession of this. I'm not gonna say we played horrible, because we played okay, even though we lost. But still, it's a tough one to call. We've got Burnley on the weekend. Let's see what's gonna happen then, and we need to start signing. We need to get the signings in and see what's gonna go. This midfield needs to be important. Partey, you just come back, and this is what happened. Don't know what's going on, but I'm hoping, praying that our next 10 games are going to be important, because now we just got to focus on the Premier League, and that's what we've got to focus on, because we're out. Is what it is.
Welcome back, guys. Got Shores.
Yes, James.
How you doing, man?
What's going on, mate?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Wish
It's been a while.
we were here celebrating a place in the final. That's 2 semi-finals in a row.
Yeah.
We've lost in. We used to laugh Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for doing this. So really disappointing. And we know Arteta's got over the line before. We've seen him lift the FA Cup. But
yeah,
it's the way we lost, the way we went out. And for anyone who's saying that's a load of rubbish, look at the way we responded to Man City.
Yeah.
We lost that game, but look at the energy in the place. Yes, we were deflated, but we were sitting there going, but well done, guys. You had a go.
We had a go.
You gave it everything. There was something to be proud of. Nothing really to be proud of tonight. Let me quickly ask you, any player stand out for you in terms of good performance?
Yeah, and the only guy, my brother, you get me, from the favelas. Yeah. Bruv, my head's all gone. Martinelli. Yeah, I'm trying to find his name.
You said that thing right.
Bruv, wait, but listen, and to the point what we're saying, and it's very true and it's valid in what you're saying, James, and it's because I appreciate Martinelli merely due to the hunger. That determination, what we've seen in the Man City game, even with the loss, we're still proud of our club because we're seeing them fight. I just said in the fan cam, it's a thing for me now where, okay, we're Arsenal, it's the transfer window. Maitland-Niles, we've got people out, Mari, we've got certain players that we've let out, I wouldn't say deadwood because I don't want to disrespect the players, but we've got those type of players out of our club. And where are the replacements, James? The thing for me right now, where I'm at with Arsenal Football Club right now, is I believe in the philosophy more so than the process right now. So
What do you mean by that?
So I believe in us getting our young players for the likes of Ben White, Gabriel, Ramsdale, Martinelli, Saka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard. Cool.
Yeah.
When I look at that starting lineup, I'm proud of that. I'm able to have hope in that. But you see, our senior players, bro, they're not cutting it for me. And we are Arsenal Football Club. They are not cutting it for me. And if we do not go out there by the end of this month, bro, get a central midfielder and a striker, we're done. I don't want to hear no shit about top four and that. if we do not get someone that is going to come on that pitch, bro, and be a goal machine and hungry and know where he is at the Emirates, in Arsenal, and fight for that badge in a certain way, then it's not going to work. So, like I said, we need a striker, we need a central midfielder, and then beyond that, because we've seen that when we went to Forest, how they dealt with us. So our team that's, coming off the bench, they need to come off that bench, bro, and Arteta needs to sit them down and show them. Come off that bench and show that same fight. Okay, cool. Will Smith, bro, I think he played decent today. He didn't have the best game today. But you see, like, when he was coming off that bench, bro, before, and he was showing us, I'm coming on this pitch and I'm going to slap him a goal today.
Yeah.
That's what I want to look at players on my bench and know in my heart that if he's 21, he's going to change up the game a bit creativity up front, a bit, if we're going to get a striker, that's not the be all and end all, because we need people around him that's going to feed him and make sure he can be the goal machine that he needs to be. But the likes of Laka, Oba and Eddie, if I'm honest, bro, for me and where I am now with having this patience with our football club, they're not at that level to bring us into this top four and remain in there. We
and
need
you
more.
could see that we lacked star quality today.
Yeah.
Like Diogo Jota, right? Liverpool were great because they were professional and barely broke a sweat, but they didn't pull us apart. They didn't, kind of play vintage Liverpool, gegenpress, Jurgen Klopp, everything that we've known them to be the last 5 years.
Yeah.
They weren't that today. But you know what they were? Just really efficient, like good at the back. Could have scored. Yeah, could have scored from a set piece. Very nice on the ball. Made us really work hard to try and get it back. Looked after it really well.
Very well.
Jota shows his quality with the first goal, though I think we could have done better. Second goal, Trent. What a ball. Jota, what a run.
See Trent.
What a finish.
I'm not gonna lie. See Trent, bro. He is a problem. That's the type of guys that superstar, bro. He's
he's an unbelievable player.
And it's getting there.
But look at the quality they have, right? So, and I'm really not trying to dig at our own players here. I love this group a lot.
We love our club, bro.
We love our club,
but that's what I'm saying. The philosophy, James, not even the country.
Sure.
We love where it's going. You get it.
But people who watch this channel regularly, or maybe watch me or you, so whatever, know that I love a lot of these players. I'm really behind them.
Of course.
If you look at Kieran Tierney, who I love, but compare him to Trent. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a gulf there.
There's levels to
and
this.
I've just put forward our best fullback and Liverpool's best fullback. That's the battle there. That's what we're comparing. Now what I'm saying is Tierney can do some phenomenal things, and I really like him. And I think he's only going to get better.
Of course.
And I think he's got other qualities. Trent Trent's like a number 10 playing right back. And he's just physically good enough. Right. But he's kind of got that De Bruyne ability to whip the ball over. He's superb.
Player,
But
directly as well.
But they have quality and decisive moments, and I think Martinelli has that / is going to have that more.
Of course,
I think Saka is adding that. I think the players are getting there, but the youngsters who look most likely to have that are too young to do it consistently.
Of course.
Or maybe not good enough, but I like to think they're just too young. And then the players like Lacazette, Partey, we get a top performance from them very rarely, and I think Partey.
But bro, when they was at their other clubs, it's like, bro, when Partey was at Atletico, bro, he's doing his thing. You get it? He had Simi there.
Maybe it's the system. Guys, we've still got a lot to talk about. We're normally doing an hour show, and we're well over that because there's a lot to chat about. We've got some more clips, we've got some super chats, and then we're going to quick fire to round the show on a couple of big issues that I don't think we can kind of let go. So let's just get through the super chats. Christopher says, I only trust Tierney and Martinelli at the moment. Martinelli always works hard, really good mentality in my opinion. He's fantastic. I love Martinelli. Just round of applause, superb
I love
today.
it. I say Brazil all the time. That's my guy.
Quality.
My guy.
Kenna says, in the FA Cup run, we beat big teams. Since unloaded our experience like Willian and Ozil, but now the youth is impressive but not doing it in big ties. Older players are not leading this season.
That's the main thing. I feel like that's the main thing.
That's a great point. Now Willian and Ozil weren't the reasons we won the FA Cup. In fact, they weren't there. But if you look, we did have Martinez, who you could talk about whether he's experienced or not, but 25, 26, played a lot of first team football. David Luiz at the back. Whatever you think about Mustafi, right? He's played in a World Cup winning squad. I'm not saying you want these players back. I'm not saying that.
Way.
But you can see where experience can sometimes get you over the line. Where the front three of Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette. Like, again, I'm not saying that Bellerin playing at right fullback. Tomiyasu's better than Bellerin, but he's been there and done that in the FA Cup.
Of course,
if we
he knows
can
what it's
add,
about, innit?
if we can add some experience, the right experience,
I think it will be good. That's what
hopefully
we
it
need.
brings it all together. That's what January's all about. So a really good point there, Ken. I think we might have
Definitely, Ken. That's a top
more. I might have lost it. I think I have lost it. Apologies. Yeah, that's it on the super chats. We got more clips. Let's see what you're saying.
Just want to say that I thought Martinelli had a brilliant performance to start off with a positive. I think that's where it ends, to be honest. Saka's kind of non-existent with the play, although we didn't even switch it to his side to get involved enough. I feel like when the chips are down and stuff like that, in past teams that are greater than this, you look up at your Fabregases, your Van Persies, your Nasris, your Alexis Sanchez's, your Aubameyangs when he was in his prime, I guess. Your Ozils to give you that star quality, that marquee player, that this guy, he's been here, he's done that, he can do it again, he can get us out that rut. We don't have a player like that at Arsenal, and we need to bring in somebody because you can't rely on these young players. It's like Arteta and Edu, they didn't know AFCON was coming, they didn't know injuries or possibility, and they didn't know the lack of discipline within Xhaka and him being a liability is instilled in that player. Their inexperience is going to show. If we can't get a midfielder in before the January transfer window, kiss top four goodbye. Even a striker, because we can't rely on Eddie Nketiah and Lacazette to score goals. It's either you sign Vlahovic or reintegrate Aubameyang into the squad to get goals. Because, come on, man. This is our own... I feel like this is going to be our best shot at top four in the next 2 years, really. Because Man United, Chelsea even, a lot of these teams are not performing, and we need to get in there.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Shout outs to everyone at AFTV. Another... disappointing performance. What I'd like to say is Arteta will continue to suffer the consequences of stubbornly sending out Guendouzi and Torreira out on loan when they could have easily fitted in during this match. They could have helped to boost the midfield and then send out the necessary balls that we needed to win this match. We had no steal in the midfield. We kept on losing balls. I mean, there was only so much that the guys in the front, Saka and Martinelli, could do. But without a proper supply, they were running around and just tiring themselves out for no reason. We need to look into bringing these guys back from loan. At least, if not Torreira, who is currently happy in Italy, at least we should try to bring back Guendouzi to get some level of steel in the midfield. Okay? Arteta, put your ego, your pride or whatever it is aside, bring him back to help us in the midfield. Thanks, guys. Safe.
Hello there, my Arsenal friends. My name is Gary. I was born in the south of France in a city called Cannes. Cannes is famous for one particular reason. The film festival, yes, but the training academy that produces players like Zidane and Vieira was made by Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger set up the values of the Arsenal football team. Be good, be class, and play good football. I did not see this today. The invisible training that should be the ethos of us has not been respected year in, year out, especially by the proprietors. My younger brother is a diehard Liverpool supporter, and I have to say Liverpool were certainly a very good team and they will continue to be. But we need to be Arsenal. We need to be good. We need to be class, and we need to utilize this invisible training values that this great man has brought to our football club. Give respect to this name and give respect to Arsenal. We are better than this.
How can you disagree with that? You know, I think he's right. We weren't good. We didn't show any class. I think this is... I keep repeating myself, man. You just want to see fight. You want to see something. You want to see Arsenal causing teams trouble. We're not. I'm not even going to list names because I'll just disrespect some fans. But we're not certain clubs where you go, oh, we couldn't lay a glove on them. Arsenal, 150 million this summer. We got about 150 to 200 million pounds worth of forwards at the clubs. You know, we've got some of the best youngsters in the league coming through.
In the world,
and we didn't, you know, the set piece delivery's shocking. We didn't look like we could cause them any trouble. I don't think I saw Tomiyasu overlap once, but I don't think that's his fault. But look at Mikel Arteta and I just think, Mikel, like I've said that I'm going to back you to the end of the season now, because you've got us to a point where it's another semi-final and we're in a top 4 race. And yeah, that's not good enough, but you got us to a point where something is potentially attainable. So I want to see if you can get it over the line, because you've got us that far. I just wonder, like, when are you going to have a plan B? When is there going to be another way? When is there going to be a... I had Big Steve here after we lost to City, but he said he was getting nervous because, you know, he said City aren't really a lump it into the box, get a big man up front kind of team. They don't really have another way. If plan A doesn't work, then they don't really have another thing to do. They kind of rely on their quality. I think that's what we're trying to do, but we don't have the quality they have.
To do that.
Right. So... You know, and you can't, that's not really fair to expect that on the young players. So it's frustrating, and I think he's right. We lacked class. We lacked potency. You know, I want to do some quick fires. We talked about the second goal. We're going to round off the stream, guys. Thank you so much for sending in all your videos. We're going to round off very soon. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Lots of content coming out tomorrow. All that. Coming ahead of the Burnley game. And like the video, enjoyed the stream. Thanks, I'm sure coming out now. Let me ask you, why so many red cards under Mikel Arteta, and whose fault was it?
That's a tricky one, but it just goes to show, like the gentleman was saying, the class and the discipline in our club. Like seeing Xhaka, and I don't want to draw him out like that, but I have to because we're talking about red cards. It's like,
we're talking about a player who's missing again tonight, who would have played a part today.
I feel like sometimes as Arsenal, we do get those little funny games where we get a red and it's like, bruv, we didn't deserve it, or what the hell's going on. But at the same time, when we're looking at players with that experience, knowing that they shouldn't be receiving them and putting our club in that jeopardy, so when we're going into these next games, it's very ridiculous. And to watch it over and over and over again, you get to a stage where you're like, bro, what the heck is actually even going on, bro? Like, why are these players not ready to perform at that level without getting a red card? When we get a red card, and what I love to see, even though it does happen, bro, what I do love to see, like I think we've seen it in a Man City game, we've definitely seen it in a Liverpool game. It's like when we do go down to that 10 men, it's that same hunger and drive what we're even flipping asking for now as fans that we see when, that's why we was proud the other week.
Yeah.
But then when we got 11 men on the pitch.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So, but yeah, to answer your question with the Reds, can't really say whose direct fault it is, but with incidents like with Shaq and that, it's dead to me now, man. Like sometimes you need a player that's gonna go out there and maybe like, you know, get a yellow when he needs to and fight and have that little bit of grit. But the Reds, when it's just coming straight and then it puts us in a predicament where for the rest of the game we're flipping, trying to do what we can't want to fully do. And then again, like you were saying, with like the certain expertise of the squad, we want it to be a certain level, but it's not. Like we look at the bench and we see like we haven't got super subs that even if we get that red, we can bring them on, and then it's like, okay, fair enough, patch it up a bit. So we're in a very tough predicament. I feel like we've got in this transfer window the jobs what we needed to do in the sense of our players leaving our club or going on loan for our club. But to fulfill those gaps, like I was even saying, I want to see shit happen, James. Yeah, it's like Nottingham. Yeah, we seen how Spence had Martinelli in the way. Go grab that guy, grab him.
He looks a good player.
Grab him, bring him in. So then it's like we've got the option that if that red does come and take place, we know that we could look at our bench and we've got game changers, bro.
Yeah, we don't have depth in the squad.
No, no, bro.
Even if everyone's fit, you feel that you're not comfortable with the players that could come in.
Yeah.
I think Arteta needs to take a long, hard look at himself on the red card situation.
Definitely.
People say it's not his fault that Thomas Partey's gone flying in. No, but it's his fault there have been 14 red cards since he took over as Arsenal manager.
Now, isn't it?
There's a fundamental lack of discipline. There's a fundamental brainlessness about this team. Thomas Partey should have recognised in that situation, 2-0 down, you know what, 2-3 minutes to go. Yeah, we might do a Tottenham like last night. We might. And great. But you don't need to go flying into that tackle. You don't need to, because when all is said and done, and again, I want to win trophies. Sunday's massive for us, and we're so light in midfield. We're so light, and Partey and Xhaka have gone and done that. They're both as stupid as each other for it. It's unbelievable. I can't believe the two men. And
It's
you look
just
at
like no
Lokonga.
composure, bro.
You look at Lokonga
Like, what is going on?
and Odegaard in there, and they're not doing it. They're not doing it. I honestly find it staggering, but I look at Arteta. Are you going to that change room, grabbing him by the shirt and going, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Exactly.
Yeah, bro, he needs to be doing that because it's like...
It stems from the manager
bro.
sometimes, though, because, and maybe I'm going overboard here. I might be, and I'll hold my hands up now. But I see Arteta on the touchline sometimes for a tackle. He goes mad.
Out. Yeah,
he goes
yeah,
mental. I'm
yeah.
like, bro, just compose yourself.
Even he's bugging out.
Like he's going mad. And Arteta is a player. Got a lot of yellow cards for petulant fouls and often brought players down because he couldn't get the ball or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like Xhaka in that way at times, especially towards the end of his Arsenal career.
Yeah.
But you know, you look back at Anfield when we lost 4-0, but it was 0-0, and he gets into that big old scrap with Klopp, and everything. Like, just keep. I'm not saying this is the reason why they're getting red cards. I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm just making the point that I want everyone at Arsenal
to know what's
just
going
take a
on.
bloody chill
Take
pill.
a breath.
The fans, sure, but the fans the fans are gonna react the way the fans do.
Course.
But everyone just Arteta relax. And
Get them
Xhaka,
relaxed. Get them to a place
Partey,
where they're
Gabriel,
relaxed as well.
everyone just chill as well because we've been losing our heads the last few games. It's ridiculous, and it's left us so short for a crucial game. We should have Xhaka and Partey for Burnley with Lokonga as an option on the bench, or at least Lokonga start with one of them, and we don't. I don't think bringing Partey back from Heathrow Airport, wherever he's come from, chucking him on the bench for 20 minutes when we're 1-0 down after the 20th minute, I don't think that's good enough. If he's fit to play, if he's okay to play, give him the half.
Yeah,
Hell, give him the
Give him
match.
yeah.
You know, if that's what you're telling me, if you're telling me he's come off the plane and he's all right
he's
to play
cool
today,
let him play the game.
you play him,
Yeah,
especially when you're 1-0 down. 20 minutes, what's the point?
And I feel like we always do that something mad late instead now. It's annoying as well.
So sorry, I got very ranty there, guys, but I've got to ask that question. To all these red cards under Arteta's, since Arteta took over at Arsenal Football Club,
it's not good.
You've got to start looking at him.
Yeah.
What's that phrase? Something like something if it happens once, fool me. If it happens, no, I can't remember. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's a bit like that with Arteta.
Yeah.
It's happened.
Too many
it's happened, and red cards happen in football, and you can blame the players. When it happens this many times, you got to start looking.
I feel
at the
like when you
manager
blame
for
the
me.
players, it's more like, okay, for Xhaka, for example, I don't want to bash Xhaka, but it's like, I feel Xhaka, in his head, feels like he can do what he wants to do, like in order to not get the red and get that, but he might just not be able to do that, and he's trying to keep up with something that he's not able to do.
Yeah, I think sometimes it comes to a general quality thing.
Quality,
you know, is
like we were
he
saying,
at that level?
Is he at that level to be in
Partey
Arsenal?
is definitely at a level
Yes,
good enough to not go flying in with his studs
Definitely,
up on a yellow card with 2 minutes ago.
You know.
That was poor. But what I will say in Partey's defence, fair play. Put himself out there to play 2 days on.
Yeah, done it. Come
Flown in
back
from
straight in.
AFCON. Fair play to him. And I love that commitment. But really stupid error. And maybe he wasn't ready. And maybe Arteta should have recognised that. As he said, Tomiyasu wasn't either.
Who else is there?
We said we were going to quick fire. So just very quickly, did a lack of transfer activity cost us today as well? I'm just going to say yes. I think Arteta and Edu letting Maitland-Niles go, knowing the situation with AFCON, still leaving us in a situation where our only 2 strikers aren't signing contracts to stay on beyond the summer is appalling. Aubameyang's having the Aubameyang situation.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah, Dan was saying it today, like the midfield's paper thin, and it's a thing where it's like you said, if Niles was here, his athleticism and how he is as a player for Arsenal and that hunger, and he was saying like, I just want to play games and that, it's like, I feel like he would have came in and done a shift. So yeah, I feel like we've got quite a few people out that I feel like could have came in today. Guendouzi, I don't know the situation. I think it's like there was a transfer situation where he could have been potentially coming back. Torreira at Fiorentina as well. It's like these players would have been on the bench and we could have been like, okay, cool. So with them not being there and no one there to replace them with that star quality, what we're asking for, it's like, what's going on?
Yeah. Any final thoughts? I've got more wound up as the stream's gone on. I was pretty calm at the start. But it's another. You know, I was very relaxed after we got knocked out by Forest. Today, it's not losing. I know Liverpool are a good side. I said at the beginning of the stream. The watch along. We can lose this game because Liverpool are a very good side. But the lack of fight,
You want to see a
the lack
performance,
of proactivity in the transfer market, and another red card.
It's the same old story, that.
3 real red flags. Nengi says, James, give it a rest with this pointing things at Arteta. The Reds aren't down to Arteta. You think he wouldn't warn his players? Look, Nengi, just tell me why it's always us. Tell me why it's always our players. That's all I'm asking. It might not be him, but I'm seeing
to blame for everything, but come on, man. Like the gentleman was just saying about Wenger, it's like he had that class philosophy, like he was ready to go out there and he would have had that.
Some people are saying, oh, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Look, guys, I agree. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. I wanted Partey to come on, and maybe there's a medical department saying, look, he's only got 20 minutes in him. He's come off a plane. Any more than this, you risk serious injury. That might be fine. And I get that. But, you can't blame me for asking the bloody question, can you? I will end on one thing. Arsenal, and this is not Arsenal related. Should I even say this? Do you know what? I'm gonna fuck it. It's one of those nights. And this is just away. This is just away from the game, because I think we've more than said our bit on our disappointment on the game.
Of course.
Arsenal came in for a lot of heat from the media last week for postponing the Spurs game.
Yeah.
I've had it on record doing the breaking news shows or whatever that I don't think the game should be postponed. It should only be COVID case that causes it. But we did see the report today from David Ornstein that the postponement of this fixture 2 weeks ago just didn't sound right. Sounded a bit dodgy, and I just want to see the same energy. And I hope that it's not. I don't want to say being looked into and investigated. I'm not saying something dodgy's gone on, but I'm just saying there was a lot of heat on Arsenal, and I'm sure Liverpool will try to do things all the right way. But this whole mess, and again, I'm not blaming Liverpool, this whole mess from the way things are tested and who's doing the testing and whether injuries and AFCON are a reason to not play games needs to be sorted. Because I'm looking at Tottenham, I think they've got 5 games in hand on Chelsea or something wild. And it's just, everything's all over the place. So let's just hope everything can just kind of restore and get back to normality over the next couple of weeks. And yeah, we'll see. That's all I'm going to say on it. Not pointing fingers, blaming it. Liverpool fans, don't come at me. I'm not blaming your club. I'm just saying some weird stuff's gone on from every perspective. And I just want it sorted out. That's all I'm saying.
Fix it.
Someone saying excuse of the night. I didn't say it was an excuse, but have your fun with it, guys. All right, we've been going a long time. Everyone, thanks so much for sending in your videos. Lots to chat about today. We got through it. Thanks for joining me, Shorts.
James, love every time, my bro.
Fan cams are coming out. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be doing a tactical insight to break this down. So yeah, that'll be fun. See you later.